Oh, I hope you guys can hear me. I hope you can hear me. I want to talk about, oh, I look tired. I hope you guys can hear me. This is my part two. Okay, my part two on the Pope. Okay. Now I want to tell you guys something. Um, we have a new Pope, right? And where I'm at right now, the location I'm at, I'm sitting in front of a Peruvian restaurant. Okay. Now, the new Pope, okay, this is my part two. Um, remember when I said that he looked like he was not who he presents himself to be? Okay. And I want to explain more of what I'm seeing. Okay. So the new Pope spent time in Peru. Okay. Which I find that interesting, and then I don't find it interesting. Okay. Because there's popes all around the world. The whole four corners, six corners, seven corners, eight corners of the world. There's popes in every continent, okay? Every diaspora, okay? So he was in a place called Chancalas or Chancalas, Peru, okay? Um, he was there working in a monastery or church, okay? But he's originally from Chicago, okay? That is where he was born, that they tell us, okay? And he also has Creole and Haitian. Haitian is Creole and Creole is Haitian. He has black in him. But what I find so interesting is this place in Peru, they gave him his name, okay? They gave him this name. So this wasn't a name that he was given at birth. Okay. Um, Now I'm going to take you back in time. Okay. Let's go back in time. So I talked about this in previous videos that I've done on the reptilian race. Okay. Some of you guys might want to exit. Some of you guys might want to stay on. Okay. So at one time, the humans that were here, okay, because the humans originated from one continent, which would be the continent of Africa. So they came in contact with a race of beings, which we know today would be the reptilian race, okay? So there is a reptilian statue in this place. It's called Chancanas, okay? Also in this place in Peru, okay, because I'm at a Peruvian restaurant. There is Inca, okay, the Inca indigenous people, okay, the Incas. You guys know the story about the Incas. If you don't, I'll tell you a little bit about the Incas. How this all ties into the new Pope and him giving the name that he has been given. And what he really is, okay? Now, remember when the last Pope died, which he's been dead for a long time? He was in this long casket. Remember Queen Elizabeth also was in this long casket, okay? The casket was even too big for their physical body, okay? Because they are not human, okay? If you think of it in the sense is they're mixed with a reptilian race, and some of them are just reptilian. Okay, I know this is going to sound crazy, but stay with me, okay? And a long time ago, the reptilian race made contact with the human race. The reptilian race also inbred with the human race. Okay. And there are scriptures on this, okay, in Vatican City, okay, about these different races, okay, especially the reptilian race, okay, because the reptilian race was a race that, because there was many races. Um, there was the Atlanteans. They were destroyed, okay, from the reptilian race, and many other ancient cities, ancient cultures, ancient way of life, um, was destroyed and controlled by a reptilian race. You guys, I told you I seen a reptilian, okay? And I know this is going to sound crazy, but there is a picture of a reptilian in this place in Peru, okay? And it's very symbolic, okay? Very symbolic. And I asked myself, why would they even put a statue of a reptilian, okay? A ugly ass looking, a ugly ass reptilian, um, in this certain place in Peru, okay? There's a reason for everything they do, okay? The reason why this reptilian statue is there, um, because they are the gatekeepers of this realm and many other realms, okay? And I know some of you guys are gonna be like, Jen, you're crazy. No, I'm not crazy. Okay, I've seen reptilians. Okay, I've seen hybrid reptilians. I've seen reptilians and I've seen hybrid reptilians. Okay, the hybrid reptilians are the ones that were inbreeded with the humans that were here. Okay, and other species that were here. Okay, so they can control the human race that was here, okay? But they also gave the human race knowledge, okay? Forbidden knowledge, okay? That we were never supposed to have, okay? And I also got this with the Anunnakis, and I also got this with the Nephilims, okay? The giants, okay? So what they did was they inbreeded with the humans that were here. They took some of them, they inbreeded with them. It's kind of the same story as the fallen ones, the fallen angels, like the Nephilims. Okay, it's kind of the same exact story. How the Nephilims, the giants, came down. Okay, and they took on wives and they had offsprings. So the reptilian race and the Nephilian race and the Anunnaki race, they all have similar stories. Okay? All right? Guys, follow me. So why Peru? Okay? And I'm going to tell you why Peru. Okay? In Peru, the Incas. Okay? If you guys don't know about the Inca tribe. Okay? The Inca tribe is an old tribe. It was an indigenous tribe. Okay? And the Incas wasn't like some other tribes. Okay? Some other tribes were really nice. And some tribes were really mean. Okay? It depended wherever even the colonizers ended up. Okay? They wouldn't make it in some places. Okay? And the Incas was one of those places. Okay? So the Incas, like the Mayans, the Incas would have sacrifices. Okay? Um, and these sacrifices would be children sacrifices, okay? And I think is it May? It's May now. In June, I think in June, they're going to have it's like a sun worship, okay, where they have a celebration where they worship, I think it's the sun god, okay. In all indigenous cultures, even in my father's indigenous culture and my mother's indigenous cultures, there's all of them had a sun god, okay, all of them, okay. Which I think is very interesting, okay, and not just the indigenous, many other cultures had sun gods. The Africans, the Indians, um, many cultures. Okay, and what I noticed was when I looked at the Incas sun god, it kind of looked like the Mayan sun god. It kind of looked like the Taino, the Arawak, the Carib sun god. Okay, there's similarities to all these sun gods, okay, that the indigenous people would pray to for rain, will pray for their crops, okay. If you look at even mythology itself, right, um a lot of mythology has to do with agriculture, okay, um where they would pray to a certain deity for rain, okay, for their crops, or they will pray to a certain deity for sun for their crops, okay. So where I'm getting at is, okay, so this man has, I don't know how long he's been in Chacala, Peru, okay. There is a video on YouTube where it talks about his journey, his journey, his church that he was there residing in, okay. Um, and it's very interesting that they gave him the name Pope Leo, okay. Very interesting. The cardinals, is the original names are cardinals, okay. They, and also a lot of them take things that were from the Egyptians, the Africans, okay, and they take everything that they practice, or even the indigenous, okay, even the indigenous, if you think about it, and they still have those. They take the indigenous, the Africans, they took all this knowledge and they made it into something for them, okay, if this makes sense, okay, the popes, okay. So remember when I said the Pope was here before, and remember I said I don't know if he was a clone, okay, he was definitely here. He's very ancient. A lot of these popes are very ancient. Now in this place there is a reptilian, I'm going to show you, statue. Um Let me see if I can find it. Now, I don't know if there's reptilian statues any other places in the world, okay? This is a picture of the reptilian statue. The reptilian statue even has a name to the statue, okay? So I'm going to get to where I'm getting at, okay? Oh, baby. So here is one of the statues, okay? Here is another statue, okay? When I encounter the reptilians, and the hybrids don't have, the hybrid reptilians, they don't have the thing on their head, okay, like the original reptilians, okay. I had neighbors where I lived before, and they were reptilian. I caught them on camera, okay. When I first seen it, when I first encountered them, I couldn't believe it. Okay. Even the child, their offspring was reptilian. Okay. So some of you guys may have a reptilian bloodline, or and they know which people have reptilian bloodline because of the blood type of the person. Okay. But they also have the hybrids. So the reptilian race had to inbreed with the humans. Okay. They had to inbreed with them. Okay. And have offsprings like the Nephilims. But they also taught them knowledge, forbidden knowledge. Okay. Ancient knowledge. Okay. Knowledge that nobody was supposed to have. Okay. Because this knowledge people wasn't supposed to have, because they knew in duality that they would use this knowledge, especially the reptilian race. Okay. Now, when I've came across reptilian race, and there's hybrid of reptilians that are not, that they know they're reptilian. Okay. Because they can be taking pictures of themselves, or they can be on a live video, and their eyes will change. Okay. They know they're reptilian. Okay. They don't understand why this is happening to them. Okay. Is because they're a hybrid of a reptilian race. Okay. And you see the person in human form. Okay. But you're not knowing that this person that is in front of you is not in human form, is actually in human form in the physical, but in the spiritual realm is in reptilian form. Okay. So there's offsprings of the reptilian race, which we would call the hybrid race. Okay. There's many hybrid races out here. Okay. So the statue is called the statue of Marpol, is in Peru. People take pictures with this reptilian. I can't make it up. There's a woman here taking a picture with it. Okay. Think about it. When you see the coffins of Queen Elizabeth, when you see the coffin of the last pope, okay, why is their coffin so big and so long? Okay. Okay. They are not of a human race. Okay. This video is for entertainment purposes, and this is all bullshit. But I'm sitting here in this Peruvian restaurant, and it's interesting that this restaurant is Peruvian and Mexican. Okay. That's what I find interesting. Okay. Because I was meant to come here. Okay. I was hungry, and I said, I passed this place many times, and I said, let me try this. I've ate Mexican food before. I probably ate Peruvian food before. In Florida, I ate a lot of I tried all different kind of cultures of their food. Okay. To learn about their cultures. Okay. So I'm pretty sure I tried Peruvian food before, but I just probably don't remember. Okay. So where I'm getting at, so this statue is here. Now, I did a read on was it the Egyptian statue? It was Egyptian statue, but it was of a mother reptilian carrying a baby. Okay. It's actually archived. Okay. It's actually archived. And they don't know, I don't know if they know what it is. But scholars that study anthropology, whatever, they might think it's some kind of alien being. Okay. But the statue is actually a reptilian being. Okay. And I channeled this energy. I did reads on this. I will also put that picture up. Okay. Now this statue is interesting because they also found this other statue in Egypt. Okay. But it was a smaller statue. Okay. And they found even more statues of reptilians. They knew, you guys, the reason why these people are in power is because of the ancient knowledge that they keep from us, so we won't know. Because if we educate ourselves in the knowledge that this ancient knowledge, if we knew this knowledge, which to be honest with you, some of it you don't want to know. Okay. Because it's not good. Okay. It's not good. Okay. So there is a reptilian race. There is hybrids that are walking amongst us that look like humans that are reptilian. Okay. I remember when I first came in contact with the reptilian, um, I was in shock and not and I probably came in contact with them when I was a child, but I just didn't notice them as a child. Okay. I noticed other species as a child. Okay. But they don't like the human race. Okay. They hate the human race. They enslaved us. Okay. They're the ones that keep us on that loop. Okay. They're the ones that control the planet of Saturn. Okay. Saturn. Okay. And another planet I'm seeing. Okay. And there is different reptilians. Okay. There's the full-blooded reptilians, and then there's the hybrid reptilians. Okay. So what they do is they'll send somebody in your life, right? A man, a woman, and you're thinking this person is human because this man looks human, this woman looks human, and you have a child, and you have intercourse, and come to find out that this person that you had a child with is not even human, is a reptilian. Okay. Or a hybrid reptilian, and then you have an offspring of this reptilian race. Okay. I'm not going to be here long, you guys. Okay. So the Incas, okay, the Incas, and then he's holding something in his hand, which I find very interesting. This symbol right here, okay, is symbolic. Okay. It, to me, it kind of looks like, um I was thinking the Ankh. Okay. um the Ankh would be divine feminine energy, divine female energy. That's what I was getting, but it was in the reverse. Okay. And maybe I'm wrong. Okay. But that's what I was getting. Okay. It kind of reminds me of the Ankh, and I might be wrong. So the beings that control this realm of existence, and also control the planet of Saturn, and I know I sound crazy, so and there are also um, the watchers, the gatekeepers. We have good gatekeepers, good watchers, and we have bad watchers and good gatekeepers. Okay, so the Incas and the Mayans, what they used to do is, um, a lot of them would do things for agriculture, like I said, for rain, for sun, the real sun. Okay, not the fake sun, the real sun. Okay, sun. Okay. So what I'm getting from him is he's ancient. All the popes that have been, all of them. Okay, because I was like, he looks clone, and I had to keep looking at him and looking at him and looking at him and looking at him, looking at him, and I knew he was ancient. Okay, so what I was getting was I had to look and see, okay, where was he from? Okay, and then when I seen that reptilian statue, I said, okay, there it goes. I already know. Okay, thank you, Tiffany. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm still here. Okay, so here's another one of the statues. Um, okay. Now, who will take a picture in front of that? I would run. Okay. I would run. Okay. I wouldn't even want to take a picture because I've seen them. Okay. I've seen those things. Okay. So this shows me that at one time this was a hub, a major hub a major hub for them. Okay. Was Peru. This is why in Peru has a lot of sightings, and even Mexico have a lot of sightings of these beings. Okay. Now, some sightings are fake and some sightings are real. Okay. Um, so what else I wanted to, okay, so the Incas. So he is known as And this could even be symbolic, the name of this reptilian, okay? The Peruvian city of Chincalayo, okay, also known as the capital of friendship, okay, has a really weird monument dedicated to the ancient god Marpo the reptilian, okay? So at one time, this was a name of the reptilian, okay? This is what I'm getting, okay? And he could have been a king of the reptilian race, okay? That's why they put a statue to honor him, okay? And this is also a statue that they worship, okay? All right? And they put it in Peru for a specific reason, okay? Um, and some people call them the draconians, okay? They're real. I've came in contact with them, okay? So you guys can read up on this ancient god if you want to, if you have time. I just find it very interesting. So all these pope have ancient knowledge, um, and also communicate with the reptilian race, okay? One thing I noticed about the reptilian race, just like many other species, they can telepathically communicate. They can also put thoughts in your mind, okay? Thoughts in your mind, okay? Like go off yourself, okay? That's not your thoughts. That's somebody else's thoughts, okay? That they're given to you, okay? All right. So I think in next month they're going to have a celebration. So one thing about the Mayans, and the Incas and many other indigenous tribes, um, to even see, they had ancient knowledge. Okay, so we think technology is advanced now. Technology has always been advanced. It has been advanced back then. Okay. It has been advanced back then. Okay. Don't think that we're in this 5D, 3D, 4D, 6D, 7D, whatever you guys want to call it, that this is the most that this AI and all this other stuff is advanced. They already had advanced technology, okay? Back then. So they're trying to hold on to as much power as they can now. Okay? So and if you even look at the way the Pope was holding his hands up, he was holding his hands up like the statue in Peru. Okay, so that showed me a lot. That showed me that he worships the statue, and this video is for entertainment purposes, and this is all bullshit. Okay, and they're ancient. They live ancient lives. They live forever. Okay, I don't even know how you kill the reptilian race. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I don't know if you take a dagger and you stab them in the heart. I don't know if they die like that. Okay, maybe I need to channel that and figure that shit out. Okay, but I don't know. Okay. So let me go to the Incas. So there is a celebration that they have in all indigenous cultures. Okay, I think when I was reading about it, it's next month. Where you know how we see movies and they would chop the heads and then roll the heads down, okay, for the gods to bring rain, sun. They looked at everything as agriculture, okay, like, and even wealth, okay. So they needed wealth, they needed control, they needed rain, they needed sun, and they thought by giving these heads sacrificial, that it would appease these gods, okay, these reptilian gods, these Anunnaki gods, because I really believe the Anunnakis are the reptilian race, okay, in some way they interbreed in a race. When I did that reading on them, and I know I sound batshit crazy, so this is what I'm getting, you guys. But it's interesting how he has the same hand gesture as, let me see. I put it on my page. Not as a reptilian. He has the same hand gesture hand gesture as the Inca god. Okay, they have the same hand gesture. So this shows me there's Inca worship and reptilian worship. Okay, um, and he's well knowledgeable in this kind of knowledge of ancient knowledge. Okay, because this is ancient, very very ancient. Okay, this ain't some new knowledge. Technology was advanced back then and is advanced today. Okay, but they came with ancient knowledge from wherever planet they came from. When I see the reptilians, and I also look at the planet Saturn, okay, because Saturn is a prison planet, okay, because remember I kept saying I was drawn to Saturn, and I'm like, why am I drawn to Saturn? Okay, because a lot of people worship um, Saturn, okay, because Saturn, um, you see how the Jews wear that black cube on their heads. That is Saturn worship. Okay. Don't let that be fooled. Don't let that be fooled and you think that's true. That black cube. Okay. Also, if you notice, there's a picture behind, not a picture. This person is coming out. Look at this. Okay. Now this is in Vatican City in Rome. Okay, this person is burning. Okay, burning. Okay, this is what I was getting off of it. I might be wrong. He has, his face is half burnt and half not burned. Okay, and he's reaching out of the grips of hell. Okay, because hell is not the way we see it. The concept we were taught in religion and Christianity is wrong. Okay, I might have to do a video on that. Okay, but is there places that are darker, energetically darker spiritually? Yes. Okay, and he's just burning, and he's reaching out from this place of hell, this pit of hell. Okay, but so there's an Inca god that's being worshipped in Peru, and there's also that reptilian. But what I seen in his hand, it kind of looks like the Ankh, or in reverse. Okay, so that would be the Ankh is the means for feminine, divine feminine. So it would be in reverse. I mean, will be masculine energy, and it also kind of looks like the key. So is that reptilian holding the key to the kingdom of the reptilians in Peru? I don't know. Okay, is that the Ankh in upside down, or is it the key to the city of the reptilians? I don't know. Okay, this is all bullshit and this all sounds crazy. Okay, so I did put a picture up of him, and he's making the same pose as the Inca king. Okay, so that shows me that the cardinals, because they gave him that name, they got their names, they got their knowledge. The undercity, the city underneath Vatican City, holds so much information. This is why they would kill people back then that didn't submit to the Catholicism or the Catholic religion. Okay. And then I watched a little bit of his speech, and I had to stop it because what I was seeing him doing was a spell on the audience. Okay. It's a confusion spell and a glamour spell. Okay. And the people were like in a trance. Okay. And I started the video to listen to him, and then I stopped it. Okay. Because I already know those people that are watching him, they're in a trance, and they're also they don't know what is really going on. Okay. They don't. And it kind of bothers my spirit that they don't know. Okay, the reason why is because they are following a false ideology, and it's going to lead them to these places. Okay, I couldn't believe it. He was using a confusion spell and like a glamour spell, okay, over the masses, and the people were like in a trance, okay, and I was watching it from my phone, okay, and I couldn't finish watching it. I just started it and then I said, nope, I'm not watching it no more, okay. I understand what's happening, okay. I understand the ritual. I understand the confusion spell, okay, because these people were in a trance. They were clapping and they were like in a total trance, okay. And I wish I could have screamed and be like, wake up, okay. But if I would have screamed and said, wake up, the reptilians, because I've seen, you guys, I've seen a car accident, I'll never forget, of somebody's son. And I seen the pictures, right? And there was an actual reptilian in the damn car. Okay. And I was like, what the F? Okay. And then I seen, who else was it? There was a reptilian in the picture. Okay. I seen it. Okay. With my own eyes. Okay. And I'm like, damn, they're everywhere. Okay. But I don't know how we can, well, I know how we can beat them is the raising our consciousness, our love consciousness for mankind, and also, yeah, raising our love consciousness for mankind, okay, because they're trying to keep control of what they can control, and um governments know about these beings, okay. I'm not, you guys, I'm not crazy, okay. I had a neighbor that was a reptilian, okay. He went out every night, okay. um and I have him on film. And the child was even reptilian. Okay. I was like, what? Okay. When I first moved there and I had that very first contact, okay, I knew he was not human. Okay. And I don't, because he was a hybrid. Okay. So some hybrids don't even know they're reptilians. Okay. And then every night he would go to work. And somebody said on my page that he looked like he was in a military uniform. Okay. Just saying. Okay. And I moved out of there. Okay. I was like, I gotta get away from these people. Okay. Um, these reptilians. Okay. Um, but they're everywhere and you really can't get away from them because they're everywhere. Okay. And some people are the hybrids of the reptilians. So they can take pictures and their eyes will change. Okay. And they can't understand. It will freak them out too because they're like, what the hell is going on? Okay, what's going on with my physical body? And there's even a medical term that I'm hearing they use to cover up for the hybrid reptilian race, but I don't know the medical term. Okay, it's something with the eye. Okay, the eyes. Okay, the eyes never lie. Okay. um but damn. Okay, so he does pose as the Inca king. Okay. He does the same pose as the damn Inca king. Okay. So I'm not gonna stay here on here long. You guys can look up about the Incas. Now people back then that came in contact with these races, the Inca sun god, um, was they didn't go in their free will. Okay. And then also there's some that did go in their free will. Okay, but that was later on. Okay. At first they were like freaked out. Okay, I would be freaked out too if I seen a big ass lizard, reptilian looking motherfucker. Okay, walk towards me. Okay, but you can't be scared of them. Okay, do not fear. Okay, rebuke these motherfuckers. Okay. So there's an Inca ancient sun god, and it's interesting because in all the sun gods they use for agriculture, and some of this Inca sun gods look the same in different indigenous cultures, and there's different indigenous cultures all around the world. So I'm like, why do some of these sun gods look the same? Okay, just saying. Okay, so the Inca Empire worshiped the deity The Inca religion, the sun god, he was believed to be the ancestors of the Inca. Okay. The Incas was at the head of the state cult. Okay. And the worship was imposed throughout the Inca Empire. So when the Inca gods, okay, they made people follow them. Okay. If not, you would have been, okay. And that's the same thing we see with the Catholic Church. Okay. So he was usually represented as in human form. He was usually represented in human form. Okay. His face portrait as a gold disc from which rays and flames extended. Ita's sister consort was the moon. Mama Kala was portrayed as a silver disc with human features. Okay. This is where am I at here? Also, it's okay. So was portrayed as a silver disc with human features among the 20th century Kachaha people. Inta is occasionally confused with the Christ of or God. Okay. They have a festival held every June after the Spanish conquest. Okay. In May or June to coincide with the feast of Corpus Christi. Okay. Ita Rama honored the sun god and was celebrated with animal sacrifices and ritual and dances. Okay. It wasn't just animals, it was other sacrifices. Okay. They did this, the Inca religion of the Inca, is in South America. The worship of the Inca, is all over. But some of these, even in Ecuador, some of these sun gods, they kind of look the same. Okay. It's very interesting. And he's holding, this is the Inca god. I don't even know how to say his name. But if you see the Pope in one of his pictures, he's doing the same symbol. Hold on. It's taking forever. He's doing the same hand gesture as the Inca god. Okay. Let's see if I can get a better picture. He's doing the same hand gesture. Okay. So he understands the worship of the Incas. Okay. He understands the worship of the reptilian race. Okay. What we see in physical form is not the man that we're seeing in front of us. And this video is for entertainment purposes, and this is all bullshit. Okay. All right, you guys. This is Jennifer Felix. Thank you guys for coming to my live. Thank you guys for supporting my channel. I know some of you guys, when I talk about reptilians and other species, it may be too deep for some of you guys. Okay. And I understand that. Okay. It's okay. Okay. But it's very interesting, okay, that all these mythologies have the same theme, okay, all around the world, okay, have the same, most of their gods was for agriculture, okay, for real. Is this about Andrianna? Can you perform a read for how her murder will affect the future of Guyana? Yeah, I will do a read on that. We need to pray for Guyana right now, because there's a lot going on that is not seen, and then there's a lot that's going on that's seen. Yes, I will do a read on the future of Guyana. And we need to pray as a collective for Guyana. And I was really shocked that a lot of psychics didn't do a read on Andrianna Younge. Okay. Only certain psychics did a read on Andrianna Younge. Okay. Because I was looking, I was like, what psychics have did a read on Andrianna Younge? Okay. The one lady that channeled Andrianna from Guyana, that was Andrianna speaking. Okay. Andrianna Younge speaking, okay? But I think there was another psychic I was told that did a read on Andrianna, but there's not many psychics that talk about Andrianna, which I find that very interesting because Andrianna is a child, and most psychics do readings on when they do crime. They do some people, some psychics just focus on um, crimes with children. Okay. The karma of this is so bad. I believe the fate of Sodom and Gomorrah will fall on Guyana. The energy is so dark here in Guyana. Yes, we need to pray for the Guyanese people. We need to pray for everybody. But I Guyanese people are very strong people. We witnessed this. They're very resilient. So we need to continue to pray for Guyana, and I will do a reading when I get a chance on what I see in the future for Guyana. Because I did see things, and I did say it in some of my videos, the future of Guyana. But you have to understand that there has to be evolution and revolution. Okay, evolution and revolution has to happen for growth to happen, and also transparency and the truth to be revealed, be spoken about, and be dealt with. Okay, and it was very interesting that the Guyanese government never called the FBI. Okay, I wrote some notes down that I want to talk about Andrianna, and it's about Andrianna, but it's also about the government and other things that are going on. But you would think that they would reach out to the FBI. Obviously, they didn't reach out to the FBI, because once they reach out to the FBI, okay, the American embassy that's over there, okay, because they let those people in there when that fire started. They let those people in there purposely because they knew people would be touching things and tampering with the evidence. Okay, because the people that are corrupt in Guyana don't want the truth to come out. Okay, but the truth will come out in some way. Okay, I'm telling you. Believe me when I tell you the truth will come out in some way. Okay. The consequences is so numb here because we are not getting help from government. She's already being forgotten. Yes, and I feel like other nations like Africa, um other nations need to stand up um and help the Guyanese, the Canadians, the Americans, because if this can happen in Guyana, okay, which it is happening in Guyana, it's happening everywhere, okay? And to be silenced about it, it's going to continue to happen, okay? To be silenced about it is going to continue to happen. Now, I do see a woman and a man coming into Guyana, and to be running for politics, and I see the guy that's the president now of Guyana. I see him resigning or stepping down. Okay. Because if the FBI goes in Guyana, for real, right now, okay, they look at the money, they look at all the bribery, all the trickery, all the money laundering. That hotel was a front. Okay. Because I had the drug card that came out, I had the human trafficking card that came out, and I had other cards that came out. Okay, so that the hotel was a front for many evil, wicked stuff. Okay, so what we need to do is, as a collective consciously, we need to pray for the people of Guyana, and raise the love consciousness for everybody. Okay, especially with people of Guyana, because it's like when I look at Guyana and everything's going on with Guyana, it kind of reminds me of like slavery days. Okay, like you don't have freedom of speech in Guyana. Okay, I'm in America. I can say more than what you guys can say in Guyana. Okay, and people that have a platform internationally that's not in Guyana, where they're not going to be arrested for speaking their truth, okay, they need to speak about Andrianna, because Adriana's story, what happened to Andrianna is going on all around the world, okay? And there has to be consequences, okay? Um, there has to be consequences, and there has to be evolution and revolution, okay? Because if you don't address the issue is going to continue happening and happening and happening and happening, okay? And it's interesting. When I did the video on I think Andrianna, there was a guy that was delivering food in my area, and he looked like he was Guyanese or Trinidadian, okay? And I've been around a lot of Trinis in my life, and I've been around a lot of Guyanese in my life, okay? Especially Trinis, okay? So when I see him deliver food, I had him on camera, okay? I'm gonna put his picture up, okay? Maybe somebody might know him in Ghana or Trinidad, okay? But it was weird how he had his camera on his phone pointed to my front door, okay? He had his camera pointed to my front door with something in his hand, like he was delivering food to somebody that lives by me, okay? Maybe he was a delivery guy from Guyana or Trinidad. I don't know, okay? But I noticed the phone, okay? The phone was pointed to my residency, and I have cameras. So I don't have to come outside to see what's going on. I can be inside and see what's going on the outside, okay? Um, yes, that's another thing. Like, Guyana being weak right now is giving Venezuela a chance to come in and take over, okay? And you don't really want that, okay? You don't want that. You want somebody that's Guyanese, that really cares about the Guyanese people, to be in holding a position of power, okay? Nobody should really be having to hold in a position of power over people, but if there's no laws, there's lawlessness that happens, okay? So there has to be some kind of laws, okay? If not, people will be out here robbing, stealing, and they're doing that without you know. But I feel like I see a woman and I see a man in Guyana, and I see the president of Guyana stepping down. He does not want to step down. The reason why he don't want to step down is because he don't want to keep the money that the revenue that's coming in. He don't want to keep the. And if anybody's watching me from the United States, I have worked with cases of missing people. I have talked to the FBI. I have talked to detectives, and the FBI said that they were never asked to investigate, and the whole world seen what happened with Andrianna Younge. The whole world. Okay, they seen her body, lifeless, dead body, in a body of water. Okay, and obviously she wasn't there before because there's drone footage. Obviously, somebody threw her body in the body of water. Okay, so and then people that are speaking about it, like the nurse that was recorded without her consent, that she was set up. Okay, she was set up. Okay, the reason why I say she's set up is because she wouldn't sign no paperwork, okay? So they set her up, okay? So she could be in prison, okay? I prayed to God. I heard that she has a lawyer. I hope she does have a lawyer. Once she gets out, she needs to sue the shit out of Guyana, okay? And get the hell out of Guyana, okay? And plead asylum, because I don't know what's going on with the, if Guyanese people can leave, because the Guyanese government, I don't know if this is true, it's not letting Guyanese citizens leave, but there's ways to get things out of Guyana, okay? If you have information, I mean, the Guyanese people took so much evidence by taking those photos of everything that was occurring in Guyana, where them photos is alone can prosecute people, okay? Not just prosecute people, can make the FBI say, okay, we need to investigate every adult that was at that pool that day, every worker that was at that pool that day. Okay, we need to give them all lie detector tests. I bet you half of them will fail. Okay. We need to investigate the children separately, because the children have witnessed, they've seen something. Okay, seen something. Okay. And the grandmom, what really gets me is the grandmom was saying the times. Okay, it's like she had to make up a story before she even got to the pool. Okay, because she was saying 1:30, I think 2:30, whatever. So she had the story already developed, the story already made up. Okay, before they got to the pool, and then who paid for them to get in the pool? Okay, um, a lot of it's not making sense. And then she knew exactly, like she was saying the timing. Okay, like okay, at 1:30, I looked at my clock at 1:30, and she was gone. I don't see her. It doesn't make sense. Okay, if you're in a pool and you're enjoying yourself, you're having fun, you're not going to know exactly what time somebody went missing. Okay, and maybe um and with the cards, it showed me, and some detectives and some FBI's, they use psychics. Okay, they use psychics. They solve cases with psychics. Okay, and all of us, a lot of us psychics have solved so many cases. Okay, and we don't get the recognition for it. Okay, just like that case over there in Canada, psychics have solved that case. Okay, they're just looking for the bodies of those two little kids. Okay, we solved it. Okay, there's mountains, there's rural tracks where those kids are at. It's a wooded area and a little bit of body of water. Okay, they're going to find those bodies. Okay, in Canada, of those two young children. Okay, so many psychics have, we solved the case. The psychics have solved the case. It's just um them finding the physical body. Okay. Um the grandma, yes, her energy is dark. When I looked at her the first time, I knew. And I said to myself, Lord, I said, Yeshua, Jah, please let me be wrong about the grandmother. Please let me be wrong about her. Okay. Let me be wrong about her. Okay. But I don't feel like I'm wrong. Okay. You guys, the spirit, my dad always used to say, test the spirit. Okay. Test the spirit. Okay. You know how somebody's spirit is. Okay. When you get around them, that inner voice, okay, or just seeing like I can see a photo, okay. I already knew that woman is not right. Okay. And then how the lady from the Minister of Education, in my videos for entertainment purposes, okay, she wanted to put a statement on her page, okay, that we need to focus on the people that were involved. Yes, we need to focus on the people that are involved, but how did you show up there? She was there when the fire was happening, and she also gave the father a phone. So why would she, first of all, why would she give the father a phone? One, she gave the father a phone to track him, okay, or to listen to his conversation, or she gave the father a phone because there was some information in the phone for him to have. Either or, okay? All right, I'm not an FBI agent. I'm a psychic, okay? So, if he has that phone, he needs to get rid of that fucking phone, okay? Yes, we're all watching this unfold. Andrianna is all of our child, okay? Andrianna is all of our child. You guys, this case has been so, I've been drawn to her case so much because we witness a father dragging a body, okay? A dead body, okay? Everybody in the world seen it, okay? If you haven't seen it and you have the stomach to see it, you need to see it, okay? The whole world's seen it, okay? And everybody has been affected all over the world. If you're not affected, then I don't know what to say, because I'm affected first of all, I'm affected because I'm a mother, okay? And injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere, okay? Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere, okay? um yes, it was kind of like, and you know what, people are and I really feel sad for the Guyanese people, because, and people in the United States too, because we've been traumatized, okay? Just like 9/11, we were traumatized. But some things are man-made disasters, okay? They're made to be, to man-made. Like, I don't really want to get a 9/11. I got into 9/11 in my past reads, okay? Um, everybody's so scared and hopeless. No, you're not scared. Fear nothing. Fear nobody. and you're not hopeless. Okay? You're resilient, okay? And you fear nothing, okay? Fear nothing. Fear nobody, okay? And you're not helpless or hopeless, okay? What I seen with the Guyanese people is resilience, okay? Resilience. And that those kind of people need, they weren't there alone, okay? They are not there alone, okay? The ancestors are there with them, okay? But there's a resilience in the Guyanese people, okay? It's unreal, okay? And that resilience needs to be everywhere, okay? And everybody needs to keep talking about Andrianna. Everybody needs to talk about the corruption in Guyana, okay? You guys can get petitions signed in the United States, London, New York. Get some petitions signed. You get enough signatures on petition, the United States government will come in and intervene. Okay? Just saying. Okay? But then again, you got to ask yourself, okay, you want them to come in, you want them to intervene, but you want somebody that's in government that is a Guyanese, that is a true Guyanese citizen, and somebody that truly loves the people of Guyana and truly loves Guyana. Okay? Because nobody is going to take care of the Guyanese people like the Guyanese people. Okay? Just saying. Okay? So you want somebody in power that is Guyanese, somebody in power that loves the Guyanese people, okay, and loves Guyana. Okay? Yes, and everybody needs to pray, okay, for the Guyanese, and pray for everybody that has witnesses, because it's traumatic, okay? It's traumatic, and I was thinking to myself, did they do this like to? Because I know some things they do as propaganda, to make it, to siphon people's energy, okay? But Adriana's no longer here. Okay, she's still around. Okay, her spirit needs to be at peace. Okay, her spirit won't be at peace until the truth comes out. Okay, and it doesn't matter how the truth looks, but the truth needs to come out. Okay, and then the Guyanese people have to heal. Okay, they need to speak the truth. They need to deal with the situation. Okay, head on. And you guys are some strong people. Okay, what I witnessed that day was strength. I witnessed resilience. Okay. I witnessed strength. I witnessed resilience. Um, like I have not seen in a long time. Okay. Um, yes, Trinidad people are beautiful people. Island people are very nice people. Okay. I've been around island people all my life. Okay. Um, And it's so sad that people have to live in fear. You should fear nothing. Okay? If you are truly spiritual and you believe in a higher power, you fear no one. You fear nobody in this. You fear nobody that is in this physical plane of existence. You fear nothing. Okay? You have resilience. You continue to pray. You continue to spread love and awareness. Okay? Awareness. Okay? Wasn't he just did he was just live in America talking about how they were trafficking children in the United States, okay? Um Robert Kennedy's son, okay? It's going on everywhere, okay? But if that happened in the United States, okay, in certain areas, fuck around and find out, okay? I'm just saying, okay? For entertainment purposes, okay? But the people of Guyana, the way they stood there, and they didn't fear, and they had resilience, okay, against the oppressors, okay, because that's basically what they're dealing with. They're dealing with oppressors, okay, that think they're fucking gods and stuff, okay. These people don't have a heart, okay. You guys are resilient, okay. You're not hopeless, okay. You're resilient. You don't fear nobody, okay. Um, and I do see the FBI coming in. And why the question is, why wouldn't the Guyanese government ask for the FBI's help? Why? Think about it. The only reason they wouldn't ask for the FBI's help is because they want to hide the corruption that's going on in Guyana. All they have to do is go to the United States Embassy and say, look, we need your help. We need to figure out who killed Andrianna Younge. Okay. We need to have these people arrested. Okay. The reason why the president of Guyana did not go to the FBI of the United States of America, the FBI embassy, remember I said there's an embassy there, United States Embassy, okay, is because I don't know, because of his pride. No, it's not because of his pride. It's because of the money that he's making off the Guyanese people. The corruption is so deep that he doesn't want to go to the international courts and be charged. Okay? Just saying. Okay? He's calling all these experts in, okay? And even the family, they should not have, I don't believe the family should have a Guyanese lawyer, because Guyanese is so freaking corrupt. Okay? Everybody there that's in power, as far as government, politicians, they're all freaking corrupt. We deal with this here in the United States. Okay? We deal with it. But we're all traumatized. Okay? Can you imagine how many people seen that and is traumatized? Okay? Yes, Andrianna is her spirit. Her spirit. Ooh, and I'm talking about her spirit. This girl had faith. Okay? Faith. She has some strong faith. Okay? Yes, she has. And this is why I believe, like, there's more to the story, because who paid for all them people to get in the pool that day? The grandma was so Pacific with the time. How is she Pacific with the time? Okay, I take my grandkids to the pool, and I'm not like, oh, at 1:30 we did this. At 2:30 we did this. 3:30 we did this. Okay? So she already knew. She already had her story before she got there. And my question for the educational person, the prime minister, whatever her name is, because she's a family member of the hotel owner's wife, okay, why was she the first person there? Okay, why was she the first person there? And why would she give the father a phone? Because the phone is going to track the father, and they can listen to who he's conversating with. Okay, because remember I said his life's in danger. I did a read on him. Okay, I pulled the cards and I pulled the shells. Okay, his life is in danger. And then some people are saying that he owed a debt. Okay, I don't know. Okay, all I know is what I seen. Okay, as a psychic. Okay, exactly. It ain't wrong to feel suspect about her. She had the alibi. Yes, I mean, she was the first one. Not listen to what I'm saying. Nobody showed up while that fire was going on, but police officers that were even there was a guy there with a white shirt. Okay, he was either a cop or or in government, parliament, whatever you guys call it over there. But she showed up. Okay, think about it. She showed up. Okay, and they would have information on every child, because every child gets because I went on her page. Okay, and I'm gonna say entertainment purposes, because somebody said on her page that, oh, she needs to sue me if you want to sue me. Okay, in America we have freedom of speech. Okay, we don't go to jail for freedom of speech here. Okay, just saying. Okay, this video is for entertainment purposes. Okay, so I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. Okay, what it is they're using a tactic where people can't speak. They have no freedom of speech in Guyana. Okay, this is international. This, to me, there's laws, written laws. Okay, there's an international court. Okay, this should be brought to international court. Okay, because there's international laws that are being broken. Okay, you guys can read the laws. Okay, I will even look up the laws that are being broken in Guyana. Okay, because there's international laws that are being broken. Okay, there's not just international laws that are being broken. There is laws against humanity. Okay, people are dying. That is crimes against humanity. Okay, it's crazy. The lady was the Minister of Education, and the other lady was the Minister of Social Services. There you go. There you go. Somebody said you can't have a nose ring and be angry. I'm angry because I witnessed something that nobody should ever witness in their life. And it will forever be something that you will never forget. Okay? And the whole world witnessed it. Okay? The whole world witnessed it. Okay? And the whole world should be angry. Okay? Because it's a child. Okay? 11-year-old child that cannot go out there and provide for herself. Trusted people. Okay? Trusted people. Okay? And Bobby Kennedy's son, I think it's Bobby Kennedy's son, he just talked about how there was human trafficking of children in the Biden administration. And there's children that they don't even know where the children are at. They don't know where the children are at. Okay? The children were being dropped off at the human trafficker's front door. Okay? Human trafficking is very real. Sacrifice of humans, of children, of humans is very real. Okay? My thing is, the grandma was saying Pacific time. So the FBI, I mean, this is what they do. Okay? The FBI, good FBI agents that care about children, that have children, know that this is wrong. The whole world is watching Guyana. Okay? The whole world is watching Guyana. Okay? The whole world. Okay? We're all watching Guyana. Okay? Yes, I feel like everybody that was at that pool area, every adult and every child should be interviewed and separate. Okay? Every adult that was there should have a lie detector test. Every police officer, Leroy and all his little heathens, okay, should be tried in international court. Because obviously we know he set the fire. I mean, you guys in Guyana took so much evidence by the pictures alone, okay, that the FBI can use those pictures as proof of what happened, okay? And who took those pictures of that pool area that day, okay? That person needs to be questioned too, okay? Because that's very interesting, very suspect. Whoever took those pictures, okay? Every adult that was there, every person that worked in that hotel, I mean, obviously that hotel was a front for illegal activity, because I pulled the cards and it showed up of drug activity, and what's the other one that showed up when I was doing the reading? Caught showed up, and there was another card that showed up. Caught, sacrificial, human trafficking, drug activity. And what did they have? And then they were carrying out something, like they said it was liquor, but was it liquor really they were carrying out? Okay, what were they carrying out of that hotel? Okay, what evidence have they took from that hotel? And obviously the police department is not stupid. They go to school for this. They let the people in. They wouldn't let the people in to save Andrianna, but they let the people in to go through the hotel after it was on fire. Okay, they set the fire to cover evidence. Okay, then they let the people come in. Okay, what y'all should have did in Guyana is, soon as the girl went missing, y'all should have just forced your way in. Okay, just saying. Okay, but Andrianna, I really believe, like, and I don't even want to say it, but we need to continue to pray for everybody, because this is something that's traumatic. And also we need to also send love, okay, love, and prayers, okay, for everybody, okay, and that the ones that are a part of this, May they be haunted, okay? Not just haunted. May they meet the punishment of the worst punishment that they can have, okay? And I feel like that once the FBI comes in, they need to try this in international courts, okay? Because this is a crime against humanity. If you look in law books, there's laws, okay? Even the nurse being set up, okay, she was set up. The nurse was set up, okay? She says a couple of times, this is not, is this being recorded, okay? Because maybe she felt like something was wrong, okay? Whoever leaked that should be charged, okay? Because she didn't give consent, okay? She should not be in jail. Obviously, they're questioning her. Obviously, they don't want her, and she did, and because she didn't want to sign something. Who would want to sign something of a dead body, and they know that that's not the real reason they died? Okay, I wouldn't sign it either. Okay, just saying. Because if this is tried in international courts or tried when the FBI come in, okay, everybody that signed have signatures on any kind of documentation is going to be held accountable. Okay, I'm just saying. All right. I wouldn't sign it either. Okay. Yes, it has hit people. People haven't slept. People keep seeing that image of her in that body of water and those bruises on her body. And then what the nurse came out and said, I mean, it is crazy. And then the president is going to have a nerve to say that people are fear mongering and stuff. How are we fear mongering and we see a dead girl, 11-year-old dead girl's body in a body of water? That's not fear mongering. That's telling the fucking truth of what happened. Okay. And everybody's seen it. Okay. Everybody in the whole world's seen it. Okay. And every continent, every island, everybody has seen it. Okay. Everybody has witnessed it with their own eyes. Okay. I couldn't even, because I wanted to see the video again to see if I'm missing something psychically, and I can't see it. I cannot see it because every time I see it, it makes me angry. Okay, it makes me angry, but I know that justice will be served in some kind of way. Okay, so we need to pray for the whole world that's seen this. We need to pray for the Guyanese people. And if you're from Guyana and you condone this, and you're not speaking about this, I know you guys are being arrested if you speak about this. I mean, this is crimes against humanity. Okay. How much was I paid? I wasn't paid nothing. I'm in the United States. I'm an American citizen. I'm not Guyanese. I'm American. Okay. I wasn't paid nothing. Okay. This is my channel. I'm a psychic. I've been had this channel. Okay. I help I talk about missing cases on missing children. I help the United States government. I call the FBI. I call the detectives to find the bodies or find out where these children are. Okay, that's what I do. Okay, I don't get paid nothing. Okay. I haven't got 1 cent from YouTube. Okay. Somebody says children is a code word for propaganda. I'm sorry you are getting riled up over nothing. I'm getting riled up over nothing. No, I'm getting upset because there's a dead 11-year-old body in a body of water, and I'm getting riled up over nothing. Okay. I had somebody reach out to me. There's people that are going to be on your page to try to stop you from speaking. Don't let them stop you. Okay, that's why they're coming on people's pages and they're speaking up, because they know darn well what is going on over there in Ghana is wrong. Okay, so I have people on my page that is trying to stop me from speaking. Okay, you will never stop me from speaking, and I fear nobody. Okay, I fear nobody. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand why. The biggest question is, why didn't the president of Guyana and everybody in parliament, or whatever you guys call the government, I don't know if you guys call it parliament or government, why hasn't anybody asked for the FBI's help? They asked for pathologists to come over, but they didn't ask for the FBI to do the investigation, because obviously the police department in Guyana don't know what they're doing. Okay, so they need to step aside and let the real people get in there and figure out who all was involved in her murder. Um, Everybody that was involved in her murder should be charged. Okay, I believe this should go to international court, because I believe there's international laws that have been broken. And normally when international laws are broken, the international courts get involved. Okay, and especially when it comes to crimes against children, crimes against humanity. And who knows what's happening to that nurse in the jail in Guyana? Who knows if she's getting beat, if she's getting, who knows? I mean, who knows? Okay. I pray she has a lawyer. I pray that she gets from out of Guyana and seeks asylum somewhere else, but besides Guyana. And it's sad that she has to go somewhere else. But she says in the recording that she does not consent to her being recorded. And I don't feel like that woman is lying. And the reason why I say, because the spirit never lies. Okay? Never lies. The Bible says, not even the Bible, my dad always says, test the spirit. Okay? Somebody's spirit never lies. Okay? Believe them the first time you see them. Okay? Believe them the first time you feel like something's wrong. Okay? Trust and believe that. Okay? All right, you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. I know I do some long videos, but this was on the Pope and I guess Guyana. I will do a read about the future of Guyana. We need to continue to pray, and we also need to raise the love consciousness and the love awareness and the love consciousness of mankind. Okay, because when you raise that frequency, oh my goodness, it's very powerful. And prayer is very powerful. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Stay safe wherever you are. Continue to pray for justice. And if the president of Guyana is watching my video, why haven't you called the FBI? Okay. And if you guys get a petition signed, I'm going to look into some laws. Okay. Because this is a crime against humanity. I also seen some other missing girls in Guyana. Okay, I will put their pictures up. I think there's 4 of them or 5 of them that are missing. They haven't found them. One is 15, one is 17. I think one is 14, and maybe the other one is 15. They are missing, and they are from Guyana. Okay, if you're a psychic, medium, channel the energy. Share your video. Okay. All right, you guys. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.